104th Lane and Pioneer is where we're at right now, where this police chase eventually ended. It was a chase, it was called off, and then police were able to track this person back down. You see there's a driver, there's a passenger, and they don't always end like this. The police essentially pulled up behind this truck, and the driver gave up. The driver got out, got on the ground, the passenger got out, put his hands on the hood of the car, and this thing appears to have ended safely. Police still with their guns drawn, taking precautions. As you can imagine, it looks as if there may possibly be a third person in the car. Yeah, a third person getting out of the truck right now, putting their hands on the back of their head, possibly a fourth person here doing the same.
And this is what, you know, really makes these situations so volatile. And police obviously putting their lives on the line each and every day. You can see this with their guns drawn. They're trying to protect themselves, but also make sure to keep the community safe, because you've got kids heading out to school. You've got families getting ready for their day in that neighborhood. So surely this is a local community going to be feeling the effects of this incident very clearly today. This is 104th Lane and Pioneer, from what I remember there. Yes, that is correct right there on the screen. Yeah,
this is live picture here as we were watching police pull what appears to be 4 people out of this truck that they initially were chasing. We, at this point, don't know what the original reason was for this chase, but the truck clearly would not pull over for police. It became a pursuit. They pulled off the highway, the driver did, into some sort of residential neighborhood, drove through some residential areas for a while. The police at that point called this off. They backed off. They typically do that for safety reasons. The last thing they want is a high-speed pursuit through neighborhoods at 6:20 in the morning. That's a dangerous situation to be in. So the truck drove around for a good, what would you say, 10 minutes?
I would say 10 to 15 minutes at least.
Something like that, around 10 to 15 minutes. And police were able to track this truck back down with the help, literally, of media helicopters like ourselves, DPS, calling into our newsroom, talking with us to try and figure out exactly where this truck had gone. And it appears as if they've got everyone out of the truck. Police are taking their time. Looks like they want to check that the back truck bed to make sure there's nobody back there, possibly people hidden underneath that piece of plywood. Looks like they're going to inspect that now. They've still got their guns drawn. They're taking precautions here.
And they need to in these types of situations, because anything can happen. Anybody can pop out of anywhere with some sort of a weapon in these situations. But let's take a look. It looks like more people in the back of that truck bed. So we're not sure what type of a situation this is. If these are coyotes, possibly, this is some sort of human smuggling ring. We don't know. We have not been able to confirm that. But as you can see, this is live television. This is unfolding in front of all of our eyes. You can see people coming out of the back of that truck.
Well, I'm not sure exactly how many are there right now. We've got 4 that came out of the main portion of the truck, and appears at least 4 or 5 people who were hiding in the back of that truck bed. Something that police deal with commonly, as you mentioned, is the situation of human smuggling, people being brought in from Mexico. It's too early to say if that's what this is, or if police knew that when they were trying to pull this car over initially. Because they may have pulled it over, trying to pull it over for a minor infraction, and may just be discovering this themselves. They approached it with caution. They had their guns drawn. They knew this was a possibility, as they always do, especially since there was a piece of plywood that appeared to be in the back truck bed of that.
Right, 2 pieces of plywood I think we saw came off. And what's really incredible is typically in these types of situations, you see more of a van type of a situation where you have people packed inside of a van. But this is very different, because they were hiding in the back of a truck bed. This is, I think, one of the first situations I've ever seen, being a reporter on the street with that many people coming out of the back of a truck bed trying to, for some reason, hide.
And let me set the stage here for exactly where this is, because as we said, it began on I-10 in the area of 67th Avenue. As I'm able to bring up this address, 104th Lane and Pioneer, on a map here, it's just south of the I-10. So if you basically go to the I-10, you're south of Van Buren here at about 107th Avenue. So if that gives you a better idea of exactly what area we're talking about here in the West Valley, they went a significant ways away. I mean, it was good 15. All right, sorry about that. A little glitch there for a second. We continue to watch a live picture here. 104th Lane, Pioneer. Police now, multiple police cars, looks like 5 or 6 police cars, have pulled 4 people out of the main part of a truck. and then an additional, it appeared to be 4 or 5 people who appeared to be hiding in the truck bed.
Yeah, at least I would say, because it just seemed like more and more people were kind of popping out, and what's really incredible, hiding under those 2 pieces of plywood. I mean, that's really kind of a unique situation, so you almost wonder if there's anything else in that truck. I'm sure police will be doing a thorough search this morning. Even in the tires, we've seen sometimes in these cases drugs found packed inside the tires as people, but it would be difficult to drive at those speeds if there was something like that going on as well.
Okay, if you're just jumping in, let's real quick recap here. Started at I-10, 67th Avenue on the highway. Police pulling up behind this truck. Started some sort of pursuit. We're still not sure. We're working to figure out exactly what the initial purpose was of this pursuit. Air 15 started tracking it at that point. Truck driver drove off the highway through residential neighborhoods. Police backed off. We continued to follow it. Police were able to catch back up with this truck about 5-10 minutes after they pulled off of this chase. And the truck actually pulled over pretty peacefully, pulled to the side of the road. 2 people from inside of the truck, the driver and appeared to be the passenger, got out, put their hands up, and surrendered peacefully. Police had their guns drawn. They found 2 more people in the main portion of the truck. And then, as they investigated, pretty quickly, they pulled a piece of plywood out of the truck bed, and more people were hidden in the back of that truck. You see 6, 7, 8 police cars on the scene at this point.
And you really have to wonder, you know, what is going on in a situation like this. We mainly assume in these types of situations this is a human smuggling situation, but we have not been able to confirm that yet, because as you can see, this is a very fluid scene. This is unfolding in front of all of our eyes. So we're going to be keeping close tabs. This is definitely a story we are going to be following throughout the day on ABC 15 and ABC15.com. But you can see about a dozen police cars on the scene. It does appear to have ended peacefully. That is the good news for that neighborhood.